Let me tell you straight away that there are two things that fill me with dread: giving birth and flying. I have nothing against children, but having grown up in a single child household, I like my peace and quiet, and I'm not anxious to jeopardize that for singing lullabies and wiping bottoms. Even though I have recently adopted a 14-year-old girl, it's not quite the same thing as producing my own, and nothing to do with my biological clock, which my mother, who is a keen observer of such phenomena, assures me is not only winding down, but desperately needs oiling as well. Does it bother me? No. But does it affect others? Yes. Especially Ma, who could convince anybody that I should succumb to impregnation by any eligible and willing man and produce a grandchild for her. According to her, it will be beneficial all around. That is, it will be both good for me and make me a more reasonable woman. She also thinks that the very thought of real parenthood will make me amenable to marriage, open my eyes to the joys of a male companion, a family on a permanent basis. The men who drift through my life like monsoon clouds are beginning to worry her. A child will also mellow me, tie me down. The wildness in me will be tamed, and she will be able to curl her unfulfilled demands into those tiny hands and watch the lineage unfold undisturbed. The other day she showed me, only half jokingly I suspect, a newspaper report from Odisha which described an auction in which barren women bid for a pitcher of water from a magical well of fertility known as the Miricha Kund at the Lingaraja temple in Bhubaneswar. Lingaraja, the temple of the penis king? I asked her. What a great idea! And what kind of water would that be? She seems to think that if I run to Odisha and pour a bucketful of water on myself on the auspicious Ashokashmi day, she might hear her grandchild gurgle in her arms. It's a form of self-hypnosis, perhaps. It'll be a very wet conception and less than immaculate. A priest or two may be involved. Are you okay with that? I grinned. She snorted and briskly snatched the paper away. Every year, thousands of depressed, ill-treated, childless, accursed, unfortunate women flock to places like the Miricha Kund. Here they fight an undignified battle for 3 pitchers of water, which are sold only to the highest bidders by the high priests of fecundity. Shrieks of despair rise during the auction for the first pitcher, which is supposed to have the maximum potency and could provide deliverance from a lifetime of abuse and neglect. Many of these desperate women will soon be outcasts, ejected from their homes while their husbands install a younger, more fertile bride. And what happened to all these women who won the great prize? Soaked, trembling with anticipation, they stood at the temple doors, praying for the cosmic sperm to enter their wombs. Would the penis king, or the Lingaraja, the god Shiva, whose erect phallus was worshipped by millions every day, oblige? Would he turn into a snake? Or would he appear in their dreams? There are many myths about the methodology of the Lingaraja, and each one is more mysterious than the last. Auctioning water from these holy wells reinforces the irrefutable belief in India that being infertile is always the woman's fault. The men are infallible, and so women beg and plead, shave their heads, starve, roll on the ground, and tie their prayers in red threads of mauli that droop forlornly around the walls of shrines. These millions of women have no choice. Luckily, I do. Unlike them, I can forego the pleasure of a fertility rite. But even for me, spiritual intervention is sought from every quarter. I know that my mother goes to the local Gurdwara every day to ask the priest to say a special ardas for me. Her faith sometimes makes me wonder if one day all those unanswered prayers will be delivered to the right postal address, and by return mail a man will be dropped onto my obdurate head.